Hi, my name is Emily Goodwin, a senior in Dr. Osborne's Tropical Marine Ecology class at Massachusetts Maritime Academy, and this is my creature feature presentation. I chose the species Syncriopus splendidus, more commonly known as the Mandarin fish. First, I'm just going to go over some taxonomy real quick and try my best with pronunciation. In this species, it's in the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Actinorhynchidae, order Callinomyphorus, family Callinomyidae, genus Syncriopus, species Syncriopus splendidus. Next, I'm going to go over the lifestyle of this species. Mandarin fish are highly sought after for aquarium use because of their intensely vibrant coloration. Although their origin is not known, they are more commonly found in the Indo-West Pacific, as you can see on the map I took from the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO website. Mandarin fish are noted in some scientific studies for their shy and passive behavior, mostly hiding when humans come around. They are afraid of quick movements and bright lights, which means there are very little case studies of these animals in the wild available. When they are found, it tends to be on the bottom of structures like coral reefs and lagoons. They are a bottom-dwelling species, so they tend to use their fins more to balance themselves on the hard substrate. This species range in size from 1 to 2 inches long, and usually the males are at least 10 millimeters longer than the females. According to Sadovi et al. 2005, this is the smallest known pelagic spawning species. Mandarin fish are estimated to live between 10 to 15 years. Most of their time is spent hunting for small crustaceans and copepods. So this is a video of the Mandarin fish in the aquarium setting. He's being spot-fed freeze-dried crustaceans and copepods. Here you can see it's very passive behavior because when the shrimp basically challenges him and tries to take the food, the fish just kind of goes to the side and sits there and dwells on the bottom, or I guess the top of the coral reef structure. And you can clearly see how he's using the fins to stay perched up on that rock. So like I mentioned previously, this species is a bottom-dwelling fish. Most fish who spend a majority of their time on the bottom have armored scales to protect themselves from the rough surfaces and infections that can lead from cuts. Mandarin fish do not have armored scales, and in fact, they actually do not have true fish scales at all. Instead, they have an epithelial tissue similar to skin that secretes a thick, foul-smelling mucus, which protects the fish from those abrasions and cuts. The mucus is produced by two specialized cells unique to the animal and is believed to be composed of chemical toxins. Mandarin fish are known to get in groups and gang up on a predator, all secreting their bitter-tasting mucus to scare the predator off. They are also known to survive getting speared after a failed attempt of being captured. This is possible because they produce a lot of that mucus, which will protect and heal the wound. I personally think that there should be some more studies into the composition of the mucus since it clearly has healing properties that could potentially help humans. So another unique feature about this fish is not only their intense coloration, but how they obtain these beautiful colors. For most truly blue animals, they obtain their coloration by using the reflection of blue lights. However, the Mandarin fish, on the other hand, get their blue color from the cells in their body. This species has specialized cells called chromatophores that produce blue pigmentations. When this study was published, it was only one of two known vertebrate species that actually have these blue pigmentations. The other species is actually in the same family as the Mandarin fish. These colors serve as a warning to potential predators just for them to stay away. So mating. First, it's important to note that there is no color difference between males and females in this species. There's no difference in patterns, colorations, anything like that. The way that you can tell between the two sexes is that first, like I said, the males are bigger than the females, but also the males first dorsal fin spine is significantly longer than those of the females. Mating happens year-round at dusk when the species is most active because that's when everyone else kind of leaves the coral reef alone. Groups of females between 3 and 5 will emerge from their hiding spots out into the more open area, still close to the reef, but more open, and the males will follow. Because the bigger males produce more sperm, they are more frequently chosen by females to increase their fertilization chances. They do a courtship dance before releasing their reproductive elements. Because the small fish aren't chosen, the only way to pass on their genetic information is for them to watch this process go down and randomly jump in at the right time, releasing their sperm as well, hoping they fertilize an egg. The fertilized eggs will then float in the water as a mass before eventually breaking apart and settling. The eggs will hatch 12 to 16 hours after settling, and then will be able to swim about 6 to 7 days after that. So then they get to swim around for like 9 days as juveniles, and then they'll settle into their hiding place for several months where they can reach adulthood without any predation risk. So this is another quick video that I like. It's a really up close and personal video of a mandarin fish in an aquarium setting again. You can notice the colorations and how vibrant those blues are, as well as the different patterns. You can see he's not really using those dorsal fins in the bottom or pectoral fins to swim around. He's kind of just more floating there. And you can tell this one's a male because you can very clearly see the first dorsal spine is very long. So why do we care about these fish? Most of the concern comes from their role in aquariums. Although pretty in small tanks, putting the mandarin fish in such an environment will dramatically decrease their life expectancy to only 2 to 4 years. This happens because the fish can no longer catch live prey. They're confined to a small space, and there's a lot of stress and injury reported during the transportation process, as well as the difference in salinity and temperature between their environment that they grew up in and the tanks that they were put in. Due to overharvesting of the species, Fujita et al. 2013 notes that in their study, the sustainability of the species is unknown. Another document, Ryan et al. 2010, describes the effects of overharvesting this fish. Between 1987 and 1995, there was a dramatic increase in mandarin fish captures. At this time, there was no published safe method to capturing the fish, so a great deal of them died within days of removal from their habitats. This led to a vicious cycle of the hunters then taking more fish than they did the last time, which also increased the number that died during transportation. So it was a positive feedback loop, and it kept going around and around. Since the males were bigger in size and had that odd long dorsal fin, they were mostly sought after by the hunters for their uniqueness. This all led to a severe population decline, as well as a very female biased ratio. The females still preferred, even not having the big males there, they refused to mate with the smaller males. So this led to them going on to further journeys, increasing predation to try and find a bigger male to reproduce with. The Marine Ornamental Fish and Invertebrate Breeding Association, MOFIB, have had efforts to help the mandarin fish recover. However, they had not much luck. So they published a safer method for capturing and encouraging safe aquaculturing practices of the species to help them recover. However, there's not a lot of interest in this because it's a very costly operation and no one really wants to. And on that sad note, here are my references. And does anyone have any questions or comments?